Okay, okay. Stop. Actually, stop. Okay. Okay, stop. Oh, oh my gosh. I asked you to stop, bro. You just need to stop, alright? Oh. Take a look at that timer. 66 days. That is over 2 months banned from the biggest server on Minecraft Bedrock Edition. If you look at the footage, completely out of context, it looks absolutely ridiculous. I spawned in, I punched the grass for a third of a second, I throw one regular left click at an individual incoming player, and the server instantly drops the ban hammer on my head. Now, let's address the elephant in the room right now, out of the gate. The moment a video like this drops on YouTube, the comment section usually fills up with people saying, "Oh, another closet cheater caught in 4K making excuses for content." But here's why my situation is entirely different, and frankly, completely impossible by standard cheating definitions. I am playing on a PlayStation 5. You cannot download any internal client modifications and .exe injector or hacked client onto a retail lockdown PS5 console. There is no horizontal block rage or hacks, no flight mod, and no kill aura. It is physically impossible. So how does a legitimate console player get hit with a massive tier escalated 66-day ban for unfair advantage without a single line of malicious code on their system? If you play Minecraft Bedrock using a mouse and keyboard on a console, you need to grab a drink, sit back and watch this entire video, because today we're diving deep into hidden mechanics of server anti-cheats, the official rules of the Hive, and physics of mouse hardware, and the exact sequence of events that broke my account. To fully understand how an automated system can make a massive mistake like this, we have to look at how Minecraft Bedrock handles input devices. While my gameplay is running on a PlayStation 5, I am not using the standard DualSense controller. I play with a standard mechanical hardware keyboard and a gaming mouse plugged directly into my console via a USB dongle. It is completely plug and play, but the moment you plug mouse into a console, Minecraft's engine immediately shifts gears. The game identifies your input hardware and separates you from the standard controller matchmaking pools. You're immediately thrown into the mouse and keyboard matchmaking lobbies, which are fully cross-play with PC players. Because you are now playing against PC players, the Hive's server-side anti-cheat steps up its detection thresholds drastically. When you play on controller, the server expects your inputs to be smooth, analog, and physically limited by the thumbsticks and triggers. But the moment you enter the KBM pool, the server starts running high-frequency data logging on your clicks per second, or CPS. It monitors every single packet of data your mouse sends to the server, looking for patterns that are almost too perfect, too consistent, or too fast. And that cross-play protection system is actually what turned into a trap for my setup. Let's actually pull up the official rulebook straight from the Hive support website so we can analyze what is and isn't allowed. Under the guidelines for client modifications and hardware, the rule states, our rules state that the use of any client modification that gives you any benefit to you that a vanilla client does not have is not allowed. The rule introduces the use of third-party software to modify your mouse settings. Using software to modify your mouse settings to give you a higher click speed is not allowed. This includes enabling double-clicking or reduce your debounce time under 10 milliseconds. They also follow up with this very specific automated warning. We do not police the input devices that players use, but you may be flagged or kicked by our anti-cheat if you are reaching excessively high click speeds. Notice the wording there very carefully. The Hive explicitly states that they do not police the physical device you use. They don't care what brand your mouse is. What they do care about is the data packets arriving at their server. The rule is specifically designed for PC players from using programs like Logitech G Hub or external macros to bind an auto-clicker to their mouse wheel or the side buttons. It is designed to prevent people from setting an artificial 0 ms debounce time to get their free clicks. But here is a massive flaw in their system. Their automated anti-cheat system does not look through the camera at your hands. It can only see numbers. If the legitimate player manually inputs a pattern that matches the server's definition of a macro, the system drops the hammer automatically, regardless of whether you're a PC or PlayStation 5 player. This brings us to the core of the issue, my physical clicking technique. During the intense combat sequences you see in this footage, I was butterfly clicking. For those of you who aren't deeply embedded in the PvP community, butterfly clicking is a manual clicking technique where you place both your index and middle finger on the left click button, rocking your fingers back and forth to maximize your combat output. I need to make something 100% clear, because this is going to be a huge point in my explanation. I was absolutely not drag clicking. Drag clicking is a completely different physics mechanic. This is when a player drags their finger across the matte surface of a mouse button at a specific angle to create friction. That friction causes the mouse switch to physically shudder and vibrate up and down at an astronomical rate, generating massive unnatural bursts of 30 to 40 or even 50 CPS. On Bedrock Edition, drag clicking is essentially an instant one-way ticket to getting banned because the server registers an input speed that no human finger can mechanically produce through normal tapping. I wasn't doing that though. I was butterfly clicking in a completely normal way with my fingers. But here is the scientific catch that caught me in the anti-cheat crossfire: switch bounce and debounce time. When you butterfly click on a sensitive mechanical gaming mouse, your fingers hit a plastic with a lot of physical vibration. Inside the mouse, the metallic contacts of the switch physically vibrate or bounce when they collide. If a mouse is sensitive, it will register that a single physical tap as two distinct electrical signals, a double click. Even though my hands were moving at a perfectly normal human speed, my mouse hardware was sending tightly packed, alternating double input straight into my PS5. The automated anti-cheat logs that alternating rapid pattern looking mathematically identical to an illegal hardware macro. If you didn't know already, I use a Bloody A bedless too, which is a drag clicking specific mouse. And it can also double click. But in the software settings of the Bloody A bedless, I tried my best to adjust the debounce time to an appropriate level after I got banned many times before. But in the end, I still got banned. Now, let's talk about why this is a completely unfair loop for console players, and why the system is fundamentally flawed for people in my position. As we just established, butterfly clicking itself is not against the rules. The Hive has never banned the physical act of using two fingers to click your mouse. It is a legitimate manual skill developed over years of playing PvP. But because I'm playing natively on the PlayStation 5 console, I do not have access to a CPS counter. If you play on PC using clients like Lunar, Badlion, or Flarial, or any other custom resource packs, you have clean on-screen UI overlay that tells you exactly how many clicks per second you have or are hitting at any given millisecond. If a PC player sees their CPS dangerously creeping up to 18 or even 20 due to their mouse double-clicking, they can visually see the danger zone and consciously slow down their fingers to stay safe. As a console player, I am completely blind. I have absolutely no UI mods and I cannot verify if my mouse is registering either 8 CPS or accidentally spiking up to 16 CPS due to physical switch bounce. The server expects us to strictly regulate our input speeds to appease their automated detection system, but the console platforms itself gives us absolutely zero tools to monitor or measure those inputs. We are expected to stay inside the invisible safety box without being even given a map. Let's look at the exact moment of the ban, because this is where the technical mechanics perfectly explain my mistake. If you watch closely at the footage, right after I die I respawn at my island. I do very quick, split-second bursts of butterfly clicking on a grass block beneath me out of pure muscle memory and adrenaline. It lasted about 0.3 seconds. Then I run forward, walk up to my team player, and land a single standard click. The exact millisecond the single click hits the player, the screen flashes blue, and I'm banned. If you don't understand how anti-cheat programs work, it looks like the server banned me for a single click, or for punching a grass block. But what you're actually witnessing is a classic delayed ban packet. Large server anti-cheats do not always drop a ban hammer the exact millisecond the anomaly is detected. The server continuously pulls data packs, processes them through an algorithmic filter, and verifies the pattern. When I was fighting intensely earlier in the match, the server's log was already highly flagged with elevated data points from my butterfly clicking. When I respawned in, I did that rapid 0.3 second burst on that grass block, and that tiny extra burst was the final mathematical straw. It fed the system with the last bits of data it needed to confirm my automated unfair advantage flag. While the server was processing that data and executing my ban command, my character moved forward and punched the player. The ban executed at that exact millisecond, making it look like the single click caused it, but when in reality the automated system had already signed my eviction notice a second earlier. As I posted in my community tab, I did submit a formal, completely transparent appeal to the server's support team. I gave them the exact facts, playing on a retail PS5, using standard plug-and-play USB hardware, and manual butterfly clicking with zero macros. But because my account has a history of automated punishments over the past year, the support staff strictly denied the appeal. The Hive utilizes a strict escalating penalty tier system. The first offense might be a short 3-day window, but because my input style has tripped their automated metrics in the past, the system automatically scaled this punishment to a massive 66 days. And according to their official policy, once an appeal is officially closed by a staff member, it cannot be reviewed a second time. So what is the plan moving forward? 66 days is a long time to be locked out of my main server, but the grind on this channel does not stop. I'm treating this as a massive lesson learned. When that timer hits 0 and I make my return to the Hive, I'm gonna plug my gaming mouse into a PC just once, access its internal hardware profile, and lock the internal debounce time to 12 milliseconds or higher, so it's physically impossible for the mouse to send double clicks to my PS5. From here on out, I'm going to be only using methods that are guaranteed to be under 20 CPS. In the meantime, we are going to be using these 2 months to explore other massive Bedrock servers, such as CubeCraft, and take on new survival challenges and push the content further than ever before. To any members of the Hive staff team who might happen to click on this video, I completely understand why your automated system flagged my data packets. But as you can clearly see from the raw console footage, it was entirely a hardware misunderstanding, not because of an unfair advantage. If there's any way you can reevaluate this case based on the literal proof on my platform, I would love to get back to playing cleanly. If not, I'll see you guys when the timer runs out. If you've ever been completely ruined by an automated anti-cheat false positive, drop your story in the comments down below. Smash that like button, hit subscribe so you don't miss the massive unbanned comeback videos in the next 2 months. And I will see you in the very next video.